Bore da Cynhadledd. Croeso I Abertawe ar gyfer y Cynhadledd a'r cyfnod mwyaf tyngedfennol yn hanes Plaid Cymru, no pressure. Croeso I ddinas Dylan ac I ddinas Dr Dai. I was driving down from my home in Abertawe this morning thinking about the challenges we face. And I couldn't help but feel proud of the work that our Plaid Cymru councillors are doing in Abertawe, leading the work on Neath Port Talbot Council after years of Labour neglect. I'm often on shift at the food bank in Abertawe on the weekend, a legacy of Tory austerity, which we've seen shamefully continued under Starmer's Labour. Wales so desperately needs a government that will stand up for the people I see all around me that are struggling so hard. A movement of the far right has emerged, packed by ex-Tories, opportunistically jumping ship, with its slew of easy and often nonsensical answers, opening coal mines, relighting closed blast furnaces, driven by a desire to scapegoat immigrants and minorities, backed by external sinister actors, and receiving little scrutiny from a supine media. We heard a little too late that Nathan Gill, Farage's right-hand man in Wales, received bribes from Russia in securing the Brexit vote that has been such a disaster for Wales. The steel industry, which has shaped this area, is feeling the brunt of that economic self-harm again this week. If you look at the polls in England, Labour are second, but almost 15% behind Farage's latest far-right invention. But in Wales, we're beating both. The years of developing a civic nationalism, of standing against the prevalent winds of Britishness and imperialism, of making the case for the distinctiveness of our nation, and of arguing that we deserve a voice, are vindicated. We have a movement that is strong enough to withstand the intolerant, divisive, and often explicitly racist politics of reform. And conference, defeat them we will. Defeat them we must. Different poison from the same bottle was our hapless First Minister's confused metaphor for the dangers that her party faces. It takes a particular kind of ignorant stupidity to believe that Plaid Cymru's conception of nationhood is similar to that of reform. If this is the level of Labour's analysis of their current predicament, then they're in greater trouble than I thought. It surely should be apparent to anyone with the most cursory grasp of history and politics that nationalism comes in different forms. Right-wing nationalism has been a political force for oppression, vilification, hatred, and homogenization. But progressive nationalism has seen the basis of struggles for freedom, for bringing people together in their diversity, and for a view of humanity as a quilt of plural communities. Gandhi was a nationalist, as was Nelson Mandela. Would Labour consider their politics poisonous? The anthropologists tell us that the nation is seen as an extension of the family, seeking to retain a sense of bonding and kinship as human societies expanded and became more complex. For me, Swansea very much represents the idea of family. Yma nes I ymgartrefi ar ôl priodi. Yma y ganed fy mhlant a dechrau ar eu taith drwy fywyd. Ac ar ôl byw yma, a'i chynrychioli yn y Senedd, gallaf ddweud wrthoch chi fod y ddinas hon, dinas noddfa falch, yn cyfleidio holl aelodau ei theulu. Mae'r dde yn hoffi hawlio gwerthoedd teuluol fel ei rhai hunain. Ond mae ei gwleidyddiaeth yn dinistrio teuluoedd, yn creu trauma i deuluoedd, yn adeiladu ffiniau fel bod plant yn cael eu gwahanu oddi wrth eu rhieni, yn gwrthod condemnio hiladdiad sydd wedi targedu menwod a phlant. Pa fath o werthoedd teuluol yw rheini? Un o ddinasyddion blaengar a blaenllaw Abertawe yw Comisiynydd Plant Cymru, Rothio Fuentes. Ddaeth i Gymru yn blentyn bach wedi i'w rhieni ffoi rhag Chile Pinochet. Un sy'n cyfrannu cymaint i'n bywyd cenedlaethol. Mae teuluoedd fel cenhedloedd yn llawn amrywiaeth. Mae Plaid Cymru wedi ymrwymo i wneud Cymru y genedl fwyaf cyfeillgar i bobl LGBTQ+ yn Ewrop, ac i alw am ddatganoli'r pwerau i ddeddfu, i wella bywydau ac i ddiogelu pobl traws. Mae'n amlwg pa mor hanfodol yw'r ymrwymiadau hynny nawr mwy nag erioed. Y rheswm dath fy nheulu i'r ddinas arbennig hon oedd swydd fy ngŵr ym Mhrifysgol Abertawe. Un o'r llefydd y mae amrywiaeth yn fwyaf amlwg yn ein cymunedau academaidd a sifig, sydd wedi cael ei cyfoethogi cymaint dros y degawdau gan deuluoedd o fannau eraill yn y byd, yn dod i ymgartrefu yn ein plith ac i gyfrannu un cenedl. Does dim ond angen meddwl am hanes Dr Keita Bos-Griffiths, sylfaenydd y ganolfan Eiffdaidd ym Mhrifysgol Abertawe, yr ysgol haig a'r llenor, a gyfoethogodd ein disg a'n diwylliant cenedlaethol wedi gorfod ffoi rhag twf erchyll Natsiaeth ac effaith hynny arni hi a'i theulu yn yr Almaen. Our universities must not be seen as peripheral cogs within a British system. They are the foundations of our civic society and our national life in Wales. They are huge economic drivers and local employers, and they foster and explore the distinctiveness of our culture within the context of the global human family. They connect us to similar institutions from Catalonia to California to Cape Town. Our universities have been devastated by Brexit and the picture of intolerance that Britain and its media present to the world. Including student visas in the immigration figures is a travesty. And add to that the policy of refusing the right of families to be together, a ban on partners and children of most overseas students and many workers. Are we so callous in our attitude to the family, so dismissive of the bonds between children and their parents, so heartless in our view of others, that we think it's acceptable to penalise families for seeking to develop and contribute to our nation through being educated at our universities? To see this policy pursued by a Labour government is unbelievable. It has decimated the admission of overseas students to our universities, leading to the swinging cuts that we're witnessing here in Swansea, Cardiff and elsewhere. A Tory policy supported and perpetuated by Labour, causing harm to our institutions, our economy and our ability to be a nurturing nation. So let's be clear, Plaid Cymru and government won't be talking about an island of strangers. We won't be turning our back on policies that allowed us to support Ukrainians fleeing Putin's illegal war when the winds seem to be blowing in a more intolerant direction. We are
proud
of... Ac wrth gwrs, roedd sicrhau parch i'n llaeth a sicrhau addysg Gymraeg i'n plant yn frwydr yn erbyn anoddefgarwch cenedlaetholwyr Prydeinig. Heini Griffith, mab Dr Kate Bos-Griffiths wrth gwrs, oedd un o arweinwyr y frwydr dros addysg Gymraeg yn y ddinas hon. Mae'r frwydr honno dros hawliau, dros amrywiaeth, ac yn erbyn un ffurfiaeth anoddefgar yn greiddiol i'n gwleidyddiaeth ni. Plaid Cymru will support families in Wales, not drive them or trap them in poverty, or divide them and isolate them. That means a government that will stand up to ensure fairness for Wales. It means tackling NHS waiting times, improving standards in education, better job opportunities, and addressing the root causes of poverty, ensuring every child has the best start in life. And we will use every tool we have to help those 1 in 3 of our children who are in poverty. And through bold measures like cynnal, a direct child payment, we will show child poverty is not an intractable problem. We must always remember that it's political choices that leads to child poverty, that deepens child poverty, and thus it takes political will, deliberate political decisions to eradicate it. And safeguarding the future of our nation, the well-being of its children, is every government's responsibility and would be at the very core of a Plaid Cymru government. So that's what Plaid Cymru means by family values. Supporting and placing families in all their diversity at the heart of our nation. And a government that will offer real hope for the generations that will shape our nation's future. Let me end with an appeal to my children's generation. I am so glad that young people can vote in our elections. And it is among the young, the polls tell us, that Plaid Cymru's support is strongest. Your enthusiasm for a better future for Wales inspires me. Your tolerance for difference and diversity is the basis of any sustainable and bright future. You are our hope. So talk to your parents and your grandparents. Infuse them with your enthusiasm for a better future for Wales. Encourage them to vote for hope, not hate. To think about supporting and nurturing future generations, not cutting them off from the world. And Plaid Cymru promises you that we will forge a Wales where you will want to bring up your families, continuing our nation's remarkable journey. Gyda'n gilydd,
Together,
gallwn greu
we
Cymru
can create a
fawr
Wales
sydd am fod
that
yn rhan
everyone
o'r
can be
daith
proud
genedlaethol honno.
of being a part
Diolch
of
yn
on
fawr.
our national journey.